Good morning, business owners and entrepreneurs. My name is Jadwin Ford, and I am your social media coach. And today we're going to start looking at 2020 and setting some goals, figuring out how we can measure those goals, and what really is important about social media in 2020. So, first, if we've never met, my name is Jadwin Ford. I'm a full time social media coach, and I help business owners and entrepreneurs get everything they want out of social media so that they can convert more sales, make more money for their business, and just have an easier time with social media. So I did look at it, and we have 28 days, 15 hours, 59 minutes, and 5 seconds till 2020. And that kind of amazes me because most of the movies you see that are in the future, a lot of them happened in 2020. And so the future is here. But a lot of business owners that I've talked to recently say, I just want to get through Christmas. I just want to make it through the end of this year before, I start thinking about next year. And I really think that it's important for you to have some goals set up so that you can start out the new year the right way and to really crush it at the beginning of 2020 and maintain that momentum throughout the rest of the year. So, we're going to talk about how to set goals for 2020. I'm going to tell you what my goals are. As an example, of course, everyone will be different. What they consider a goal, what they want to achieve in 2020 will be different for every business owner, for every entrepreneur. But I'm going to give you mine as a good example as what you should be considering whenever you make goals for 2020. But first, as always, the news. So, this first article I have pulled up is some predictions about social media in 2020. Today's kind of all geared towards getting ready for 2020. So, this is, let's see, four predictions of how social media will change in 2020. So let's jump into it. So the first one is IGTV, Instagram TV, will be the next TV. And I think that is really interesting. I think it's really on point. I think it's extremely true. So, we've been seeing a fundamental shift in social media towards video. If you're not producing video content for your business, you need to start now before it's too late, before you're too behind to catch up with the rest of the competition. And IGTV is an easy way to do that. Instagram has a whole new section. It's relatively new that's devoted just to video. And you can upload video up to 60 minutes long. And that's really great for Instagram because Instagram's kind of taken over as king of social media. So now we can put our long form content on social media. And I think that would really help industries such as real estate agents. Real estate agents are have a unique opportunity to do a weekly anchor show like I'm doing. I do it daily. They can do it weekly and on Instagram TV and talk about the market, talk about what they're seeing in their local area, interview some local business owners, kind of showcase the community. I think Instagram TV could be really powerful for the real estate industry, the restaurant industry. I don't see enough restaurants putting out video content. You know, um, I'm writing a book right now. I just finished it. I'm about to send it off to my editor, so my book will be out in 2020. But in that book, I gave an example of how a restaurant could use video content to create more sales. And that's if let's say one of the Mexican restaurants in the Sinlaw area started a 2 Minute Tuesday, where they teach you how to cook a one of their Mexican cuisines in under 2 minutes every Tuesday. And they could put that on Instagram TV. They could put that on Instagram, and that would be a powerful way for them to generate interest in their food, in their business, in their restaurant, and get more people through the door. So if you're a real estate agent, you could host an anchor show. If you're a restaurant, you could host a cooking show. There are endless possibilities that video gives us. You can do it from your cell phone. This production that you're watching right now is I'm going live from my cell phone. Yes, I've got the microphone. I've got my computer set up. I've got a monitor over there to see your comments. I hope you engage with me. I've got it pulled up so I can read your comments, But you don't need all of this. I bought a $15 tripod from Amazon, an $8 adapter for my phone. I've got a $40 set of lights set up. And you would think that this is a major production, but it's not. It's just my cell phone. And this is proof that video can really be impactful with just your cell phone. So that is the first prediction for 2020, that video is going to take over, especially Instagram TV. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so the subscribe rate and the download rate of podcasts are ticking up every day right now. If you have a business that is in what I call an expert industry, so if you're a real estate agent, I think that this would be really powerful for your CBD oil companies. That new market is opening up, and I haven't yet to see a podcast, at least in the Southeast, about CBD oil. It's easy to do. You can record them on your phone, upload them to Apple, Google. I mean, there's like a host of podcast sites. You can upload them here on Facebook, YouTube, and create authority in your industry. That way people think, wow, that person really knows what they're talking about, enough to hold a weekly show, to have guests. You could have, if you're in the CBD industry, you could have guests come on and talk about the impacts in their life. If you're in the real estate industry, you could have first-time home buyers come on. You could have expired listings, people who weren't able to sell their house, and come on and explain their story, especially your for sale by owners that didn't sell. You could have them come on and talk about why they think it didn't work. So really, really good ideas that you could do with a podcast that you can record on your phone. You can get a microphone. You can get a microphone for your phone on Amazon for $25. Record it on your phone, and there you go. You've got a podcast. You do it every week, and now you can start generating an audience for your business. So this prediction is that podcasts are going to be huge in 2020. So if you like that so far, I'm going to ask that you hit that share button. Let's let everybody else see what we're talking about today. And we're going to move on to the next one, which I've been saying since it was called Musical.ly, but TikTok will be the next king social media platform. It's going to take over Facebook. It's going to take over Instagram. They are at 1.5 billion downloads now. That is crazy. They're at something like 900 million weekly users on a site that just does karaoke, basically. I mean, if you get down to the bottom of it, it's karaoke. But businesses are also starting to use TikTok to create a following, to create an audience. If you're a restaurant, you could do little videos of your cooks singing while they cook, and of your, waiters and waitresses dancing while they do it, So, let's see here. Hey, Miss Lynn Tarver, hope you're doing all right today. So, our My Daily Choice CEO affiliates do lives all the time. I just haven't gotten brave enough, but it's the best ways to contact and share. Look, I get the not being brave enough. I started doing a 30-day live stream challenge back in July and August, and I am telling you, I thought I was having heart palpitations that first time that I went live. I was holding the phone. I was like, no. And finally, I just hit the button. And the cool thing about live is it allows you a bit of mistakes because people understand that it's live content and then it's not going to be perfect. You don't have to have the level of production that I have, which I'm still working to make mine even better. But really just sit in front of a window with some good lighting so we can see you. Go live and just tell us about your story. Tell us about your product. Tell us, and don't just talk about the product. Talk about the story behind the product. Make it personal. Make it to where people can see that it is you are a person and not just a business. Create a following. And I promise you it will help with your sales. It will help with brand recognition. It's a big thing. When people start to see you and think of you, hey, that's Miss Lynn, that's the CBD lady, isn't it? As an example. Hey, that's agent so and so with so and so real estate. They're a really good agent. I see them all the time talking about this and that and whatever. So, you know, you've got to start. That's the thing. Don't worry about how bad it is because it can't be worse than not doing it at all. If you know what I mean. There is no number below zero. There is nothing worse than zero. So just hit that live button, and I promise you'll get the hang of it. Now I look forward to doing this every morning. So we're going to move on to the last one, which is we're going to see changes in influencer partnerships. Now, I really think that small businesses are missing the mark when it comes to influencers. There are people in the Cenla area that have 40 and 50 and 60,000 followers on Instagram. And if somebody's got 40,000 followers on Instagram, you can pay them $100 to mention your product in one of their Instagram posts. As a small business, you should be looking at the people in your local area, local people who live in your area, and get them to market and broadcast your product for you to an audience that they have built up. I have a friend, and last time I happened to see, she had like 19,000 Instagram followers. I'm probably going to pretty soon pay her to start mentioning my daily talk show. And that way, I've got 19,000 people seeing my talk show. If I pay her $50 and I get an extra 100 people, I mean that's an awesome return on my investment. So small business owners, think about affiliate marketing. It's easy to do. You just reach out to the person and say, "Hey, I'll pay you X amount of money for you to mention my product next time you post." Make it real. Don't make it salesy. Make it organic. Use my product. Here's my product for free. If you like it, then I'll pay you $50 to mark it for me, to mention it one time. So those are your 4 predictions for 2020. Instagram TV is going to become huge. Podcasts are going to re-explode. And TikTok is going to be the next big king of social media. And we're going to see some major changes in influencer partnerships. But I don't think that last one is going to apply at the small business level. We'll see. Of course, these articles will come out at 10 o'clock so you can read them for yourself. And if you want to really dive in and to get to understand this stuff, I'm just kind of giving you the abridged version. Before we move on to the next one, smash that share button for me. I know it's corny, but I really want to get this out so as many people can see it as possible. So this next one will impact businesses that are running a lot of ads on Facebook. We're going to blow through this real quick because it's not happening until mid-2020, but I want to mention it now. If you are running a lot of simultaneous Facebook ads, Facebook is going to start limiting how many ads you can run at one time. Now, they're not saying that you can't run ads. They're just saying you can't run 30, 40, 50 different campaigns at one time. So they're saying this because they say that many ad campaigns running at one time makes it to where it's harder for the algorithm to learn and to really narrow in on who it should be showing it to, and you're very welcome, Miss Lynn. I hope that I can help. I hope to see you going live here soon. I want to challenge you to start doing that. It's important. It's gained me a lot of traction, and I hope it can do the same for you. So, yeah, so if you're running a whole bunch of 20, 30, 40, 50 ads at one time, which I don't think anybody in the Sinlaw area is. Maybe a couple of your bigger real estate agents might be running that many ads because they've got 10, 15, 20 properties, in the pipeline. We never know. But if you're running that many ads, be on the lookout for the limiting how many ad campaigns you can run at one time. So, Miss Lynn, thank you for the share. I hope everybody else will join her in giving us a share this morning. I want to get this all out there, so that every business owner in the area starts to see it. So now we are moving into goals for 2020. So I've got an article here that I'm going to share at 10 o'clock, and that really dives into how you should be setting your goals for 2020. It talks about what metrics you should be using. And a metric, for anybody who's a little confused, it's a social media word. It's a marketing word for views, for reach, for any type of number that you can get a report on Facebook. How many people saw your content? How many times it was shared? All that stuff is a metric. So this article really goes into the metrics of, what you should be using as a goal for 2020. It's a great article. I used it to help me define my goals for 2020. And so I'm going to hope that you'll read it and let it help you define your goals for 2020. So I'm going to grab a drink here real quick. All right, so my goals for 2020. We're going to talk about that real quick. I've got them written down right here. So today we're going to talk about macro goals for 2020. And what do I mean by macro goals? So macro goals are the overall, here are the 4 things that I want to achieve with my social media in 2020. Not how I'm going to do it, not the micro stuff, the amount of views every month that I have to get to achieve my macro goal, the amount of followers, that kind of stuff. So today is just about the macro goals, the overall overarching goals that you should be using to really get 2020 off to a good start. So here are my goals. I've got them pulled up. So my first goal is growth. I want to grow this Facebook page, my Instagram, my LinkedIn exponentially in 2020. So how would I quantify that? Followers. People, a lot of business owners will say, I don't care how many followers I have, I've got 1,000, that's plenty for me. Here's the thing. The Facebook algorithm, at best, the Instagram algorithm, at best, is showing your content to 5%, maybe 10% of your audience. So, with that being said, if you've got 1,000 followers, only 100 people are seeing it. But if you've got 10,000 followers, then 1,000 people are seeing it. So your follower count really does matter at the end of the day. So my goal for 2020 is to grow my channel to 10,000 followers, and I'm going to combine Instagram, LinkedIn connections, and Facebook followers. I want to have a 10,000 person pool by the end of 2020. So tomorrow we'll go into the micros of how we can really dial in how we're going to achieve that. So my next macro goal is expansion. And I've already started this, but I put it on here because it's important to me. I just started yesterday my first LinkedIn dive and I'm learning and I'm using LinkedIn. So I want to grow vertically, or vertically, yeah, vertically with 10,000 followers. I want to grow horizontally into a new platform with LinkedIn. So those are my first two goals: vertical growth with more followers, horizontal growth with more, with more platforms, more different platforms that I can use. So that's my vertical and horizontal growth. I call it growth and expansion. More followers, more platforms. So think about that. Do you have the amount of followers that you really think you need? Because I think you probably have less than what you actually need. If you look into your insights and see how many people you're reaching every day, you very well might not be reaching as many people as you think. And that may be because you don't have enough followers. 10% or 5% of 1,000 is a lot less than 5% or 10% of 10,000. So your followers are important. The amount of platforms that you are on, that's more ways for people to see you. They may see you more times in a day. So grow vertically, grow horizontally. So my next one is performance. My next macro goal is performance. I want to get and maintain a reach of 10% of my weekly or my total audience weekly. So I want to reach, if I get to 10,000 followers, I want to reach 1,000 people a week. Right now I'm at 700 followers, so don't make me show how bad I am at math, but should be about 70 people a week. Now I already crushed that. I already reached a couple hundred a week, but as you get bigger, the harder it is to maintain that reach. So tomorrow we'll go into micro goals on how I can reach that many people and maintain that, because getting there is the easy part. It's keeping it. So, again, vertical growth, horizontal growth, and reach. I actually want to reach the people that I grow with. So, and then improvement. This is kind of an unquantifiable one. This is subjective, but I want to improve my overall production quality, the production of the images I put out, the production of this talk show, the videos that I put out. I want to really improve that overall. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about a couple ways to improve your video and improve how you reach those people, because reaching them is one thing, but reaching them and keeping them engaged is a whole nother ball game. So again, macro goals of mine for 2020 are growth. I want to reach 10,000 people. Expansion. I want to expand into a new platform. Performance. I want to reach, to get and maintain a 10% reach of my audience. And improvement, the subjective one. I want to improve the quality of my content that I give to my viewers so that I can deliver more value. Now, those are, again, macro, big overall goals. So I hope everybody watching, I hope everybody that sees this, if you made it this far, I hope tonight you will sit down and really think about, okay, how do I want to expand my social media? How do I want to grow? What is important to me? And that way, tomorrow, whenever I give my recommendations for the little ways of reaching goals, you can turn around and apply that directly to you, because you already have your overall macro goals in place. So that's my challenge to everyone tonight. Sit down and figure out what your macro goals are for 2020. Your overall social media goals for this coming year. It's going to be a really great year, I think. I love that video is taking over. I love that podcasts are coming back. I love that TikTok is a thing, music and all of that. So I think 2020 is going to be a great year. I will see all of y'all back here tomorrow. Miss Lynn Tarver, if you're still watching, thank you again for the share. Everybody that liked and shared, thank you so much. That is what will continue to help me grow this talk show and to really bring you some value. I hope to have some more guests coming on soon. We just had Friday, Mr. Elliot Rocca again. Shout out to Mr. Elliot. I want to thank you for being on the show. I had an awesome time talking with you. We did a 2 hour show, so we really had a lot to talk about. So if you missed that show, go back down the timeline. Friday morning, we had a 2 hour show on how to really increase your performance of your photography on social media. So if you missed that, go watch it. It was a great, great show. We really had a good time, and I think we provided a lot of value that you can really take and apply to your social media. So that's it for today. I hope to see y'all all bright and early, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning on the Social Mornings Talk Show. My name is Jadwin Ford. Please remember to share this even after it's over. Um, let's see, I had a great time as well. It was a lot of fun. Ton of info on that one. That's so true, Elliot. We really did, I think, provide a lot of value. And so I hope that everybody watching will go back and really see how to improve your photography. So tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., your micro goals, the way that you reach your macro goals for 2020. My name is Jadwin Ford. I'm your social media coach, and I will see you then.